kick off. Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 21st of April. So starting off looking at the euro dollar, and well, yesterday put in what could be a bit of a reversal bar here. It certainly looks like at the moment doji, having seen the price pushing up there, looking for potential further upside, and it just ended up rolling in the end, as we'll see with some other markets. But for now, well, it does look a tad soft. You can't read it so much through this 4-hourly, and in all intents and purposes, it's still in an upward trend here with higher lows, higher highs. Shorter time frame, you just come through here though on the 1-hourly. You can just see the lower high that's been confirmed through there. Now it's in a sort of a holding pattern as I go to press here. Consolidating. It's which way now? Really, from what the pattern here, to me it looks soft. Hasn't quite got up there and caught the daily pivot, but this looks a bit soft to me, and well, I wouldn't be amazingly shocked if we did see it continue to the downside. So a little bit different to what we saw a couple of days ago. The pound inflation come out this morning, slightly less than expected. Keeps the pressure off the Bank of England. But I don't think anyone was expecting anything too much there. We're seeing a little bounce at the moment, but it's a messy old bit of price action. And again, you can see the sort of lower highs that's come through there. Very smooth price action yesterday in real terms most of the day there. It just ended up rolling down with just an occasional blip. So at the moment, looking soft, softish. Daily pivots above. I would be interested to see the reaction of price action into that 50-34 area on the pound if it gets there. Otherwise, maybe looking at the shorter time frames to see if we get a bit more of a continuation rollover. So they're sort of sitting in these, both those currencies sitting in a point of possible more correction. The yen never really did too much yesterday as usual. Did sell off, and dollars sold off against the yen some more here. I've been waiting to see if this turns around at the moment, but still waiting. It's got the potential to come back down to its monthly S1. As I said before, I'm looking at a position on this, but it's not really shaking too much up at the moment, 4-hourly wise. Even on this more aggressive trend line I've popped on there. In fact, I might just adjust that. But I'm really waiting for a bit of a break first. See a bit of divergence across the lows here. That on the 4-hourlies, that might be the beginning of something. But I do actually need to see it pushing up a bit more before I look to buy in for a bit more of a long-term hold on that. Okay, Aussie dollar. It may be that I have to wait quite a long time on that yen, so I will do. I'll do what's needed. Aussie dollar, quite a bearish looking bar there on the dailies. It's struggled a bit and sold off quite strongly through yesterday's main session, of having put in a decent sort of run up to that. And again, you've got to look down to see the lower highs that sort of put in there later on in the afternoon. We saw a bit more of a shove down there. Again, divergence at the lows here. Ooh, there's potential for a switch round back positive, but again, lower highs. It may have been this is a fifth wave sort of move and it's done, but it's left me really looking at the downside at the moment. But that can all change come later in the session. But Canadian dollar, with the Canadian dollar yesterday at well, finally we carried on pushing through. It had a weak day the previous day when all the markets had gone strong. The US dollar made a move up. We saw a continuation of that through yesterday, pretty much a bit easier. We have got the Bank of Canada meeting later today, where it's expected they might mention about tapering the amount of bond buying that they're doing, but that's pretty much built in and expected, so I don't expect too much from it. Overall, Canada's the numbers have not been coming out bad at all. We'll see what happens, but at the moment strengthening towards its daily pivot here, just finding support on the 21 and lower time frames. It has put a lower high in here, whereas the others are all in sort of divergence moves. This one's just not managed to push up to give us a divergence and has rolled over a little bit stronger, so maybe a bit more strengthening to come. It's whether it can break that 60-minute 21 really, and then it gives it an open run back towards its monthly pivot. Okay, very mixed old day in terms of looking. Don't like when it's sort of in the middle of going from one way to a different direction. It looks sometimes it's just a fool's move, and you just sort of get in there and start buying back again, or you think everything's changing, and it doesn't. So euro yen. Well, I was just having a look at this. I'm not so sure why I'm looking at this. It's it pitched up yesterday and sold off, and it's one of those pairs that's just well, not really helping us too much at all. Okay, I'll leave that alone. Right, aside of that then, S&Ps. Let's come back to dailies there on the S&Ps. You just see how big a day there on that was relative. It's quite a decent sort of retracement yesterday, or continuation of the retracement yesterday. It broke through some levels where I thought it might come back to, but it's just carried on going really. So looking, well, at the moment, again consolidating, and well, may push into its daily pivot there. But really, I think if you get a break of these lows here, we may have some more downside on it. It has put lower highs, lower lows here on the 60-minute, much clearer to see. It does look a bit on the soft side for now. How long that will last is another matter. I'm still sort of sit there every time we see anything like this, these sort of corrections. You just sort of wait for the next sort of surge with the S&Ps. Right, gold. So stronger dollar coming through, but we saw yesterday a stronger gold still pushing through there. So there's a bit of conflict of the markets there, pushing through quite well yesterday, and it's continued. So there's some doubters out there. Then higher lows through the hourlies here. It does look like it might have some more upside, but just be wary of the double top there and possible roll. Right, oil. We got oil reporting. We got reports of the oil stocks later. Oil, because I'm no longer interested in it, had a key reversal day yesterday. Sort of bearish engulfing candle there, maybe a break of that weekly pivot. We'll see some further downside. I've just lost a bit of interest in it in terms of it not really doing too much, and in fact going against my thought process. So I've stood away from it for now, and we'll continue for now to leave it be. It could too easily run up here and break the prior high there and put a higher low in and continue running to the upside. Weird old day yesterday in price action there. Solid old sell-off at what time was that? 3 o'clock by any chance? There we go, 3 o'clock sell-off. So we saw that sort of sell-off through the markets. Stronger US dollar coming through around about that time, and a stronger dollar is a softer oil price, but for now, well, it's pushing back up again. So nothing clear there, clear as mud. Okay, Bitcoin. So let's just come to dailies. Are we going to see a bigger correction from here? It's we got the weekend gap over on the futures here, showing it's not looking quite the same on the cash markets, but it's struggling where it's, as I'm looking at it on the dailies on Bitcoin. However you look at it, it's struggling at this moment, and maybe bigger correction. If we saw some more dollar strength, well, I would expect it to correct back further, but not really getting too much of a clue from what we're seeing. For the upside, well, maybe I'm just looking. maybe if it can get back above its daily 8 and 21 would be a starting point. Above 58,000, something about that area, maybe a bit more positive to the upside, but at the moment looking iffy. We may just see more consolidation here as it looks at the moment. Right, okay, that's pretty much it for me. Oh, sorry, Ripple, what's happening there? Well, that's gained a little bit today. It didn't actually manage to hold up better yesterday, slightly better. Ethereum 2 as well, that also held up a bit better and started pushing back up a little stronger yesterday. So yeah, I mean, it just bit of consolidation where we're sitting. Okay, nothing else really to mention here. It's one of those days that's not the easiest to read in terms of what's there. It may once again need the old patience. I wish you a great day, and I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.